What if I told you that while Chino and Chino Hills are neighbors, the difference between living in them could mean tens of thousands of dollars in your pocket and a completely different lifestyle for your family? Most people assume they're basically the same, but there's a catch that most agents won't tell you. I'm Christian and I specialize in helping families navigate the Southern California real estate market, especially when it comes to finding the right community here in the Inland Empire. Today we're breaking down the real differences between living in Chino and Chino Hills in 2026. From home prices to schools to the hidden parts of daily life, so you can confidently decide which one is right for you. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one fits your situation. And if you're even thinking about moving to Chino or Chino Hills, reach out early so we can build a strategy before you start touring homes. All right, let's start with the biggest factor for most families, what your money actually buys. And this is where expectations start to change fast. In Chino, you're generally looking at a medium home price in the mid 600,000s to high 700,000s. That gives you more flexibility. You'll find older homes with larger lots, newer communities, and more options overall. Chino has been growing a lot in recent years, so you're getting a mix of established neighborhoods and newer developments. Now, cross over to Chino Hills and things shift. You're typically looking at high 800,000s to well over $1 million. You're paying for newer construction, larger homes, and more premium locations. For example, a 2,000 square foot home in Chino might be around $700,000. That same size home in Chino Hills could easily be $950,000 or more. And here's what most people don't realize. That price difference doesn't affect your mortgage. It affects your lifestyle, your monthly comforts, and how much flexibility you have financially. You'll also see higher property taxes in certain Chino Hills communities, especially with mellow roofs. So while both cities offer great living, your budget creates two very different realities. Now let's talk about something that matters just as much, how these cities actually feel, because this is where your happiness comes from, day to day. And honestly, this is where most people make their decision. Chino has a more established, diverse feel. In some areas, it even has a slightly more rural vibe, but it's changing fast. You'll find local restaurants, community events, and a mix of older charm and new development. It feels more laid back, more grounded, more everyday. Now this is Chino, and this is what I mean when I say it feels more every day. You've got families at the park, kids playing, people walking their dogs. It just feels like more lived in. And honestly, for a lot of buyers, this is exactly what they're looking for. Now Chino Hills, completely different feel. You've got hills, you've got views, and master planned neighborhoods. All right, so I wanted to break away from the video and I wanted to actually show you this. This is what living in Chino Hills actually feels like day to day. You've got hills everywhere. You're getting views, it's quieter, more tucked away. This is why people pay more to live here. It's not just the house, it's the environment. All right, let's go back to the video. Some of the older areas are cleaner, more polished, and it feels more like a finished suburban environment. You'll see well-maintained communities, golf courses, and higher-end shopping. It almost feels resort-like. I had a client last year, a family relocating from Orange County. They were set on Chino Hills, but after touring Chino, they realized they could get more space, more value, and still love the lifestyle. And that's when everything shifted for them. All right, so I wanted to break away from the video really quick and show you guys where the main shopping areas here in Chino Hills. This one's called the Shops. This is where a lot of people hang out. There's a bunch of restaurants here, coffee shops, and just your regular shopping. Everything feels a little more curated and everything feels a little more polished. Check it out. All right, so not only are there a bunch of restaurants and coffee shops, but there's also little areas here where you can actually rent out office spaces in this building here and over in this section as well. So you have all the shops over there, restaurants. Here's like shops like Victoria's Secret. You see Chico's out there, Banana Republic. If you go out more to the left of this camera view, there's bigger restaurants out there as well. So this is where most of the people hang out. All the kids here playing with the water area. There's concerts here sometimes during the evening. Over here you got some more shops. Trader Joe's is going to be on that direction. So a really cool place to come and hang out. If you just want to hang out with the family, do some window shopping or some actual shopping as well. Go ahead and circle around here. Train rides for kids here too. And this is actually really decorated real nice during Christmas time. They have the train here, and they have snow falling from the sky. So making it a great experience here for families. So let's pan out here. So you're gonna have Now, let's talk about one of the biggest decision drivers, schools. Both cities are part of the Chino Valley Unified School District, but here's the difference. Chino has a wide range of schools. Some are excellent, some are more average, so it really depends on the neighborhood. Now, I always recommend you verify schools directly, but this is what I consistently see from buyers moving here. Chino Hills schools tend to rank higher overall, and that alone can shift someone from Chino to Chino Hills instantly. For example, Ayala High School is one of the top rated schools in the area, and that becomes a major factor for families. What most people don't realize is, even within the same school district, the exact school boundary can impact your home value and your daily life significantly. Quick question, are you leaning more towards Chino or Chino Hills right now? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. Now let's talk about the practical side of life, your commute. Both cities have great access to the 71, the 60, and the 91 freeways. So whether you're heading towards LA, Orange County, or staying local, you're in a solid location. But here's the small difference. Chino is flatter and easier to navigate. Chino Hills has more curves, more elevation, and slightly longer internal drive times. Now, this may not seem like a big deal until you're doing it every single day. Alright, so I wanted to break away from the video and give you guys a visual. Alright, so here I'm driving through Chino right now. You can see how flat everything is. Pretty easy to get around. Now, when you compare this to Chino Hills, you'll notice a huge difference right away. More curves, more hills. Not a huge deal, but something you'll feel every day. Here's something most buyers don't think about. Where is the city going? Because that matters just as much as where it is today. Chino still has room to grow. There's more undeveloped land, more new construction coming, which means more change over time. Chino Hills is built out, less room for expansion, which often means more stability and fewer big changes. So over the next 5 to 10 years, Chino will likely evolve more than Chino Hills. So how do you choose? If you're analytical, here's the breakdown. Choose Chino if you want more affordability, more flexibility, and more value for your money. Choose Chino Hills if schools are your top priority and you want a more established, polished environment. But if you're emotional, here's the real answer. Choose the place that feels right when you drive through it, because that's where you're going to live every single day. And at the end of the day, there's no perfect city, just the right one for you. If you're thinking about moving to Chino, Chino Hills, or anywhere in the Inland Empire, people reach out to me every single week to help them relocate here. Call or text me. My phone number is 909-374-4260, or check out the links in the description to schedule a free consultation. I'll help you build a strategy so you can make that right move with confidence. And if you're still trying to figure out where you should move, watch this next video right here. YouTube is recommending it for you. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.